The U.S. government arrested me in a phony immigration charge back in 2013. And because of the racist nature of the justice system in this country, I was forced to accept a plea deal and agree to leave my home of the past 23 years.
Rasmieh! 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 Rasmieh!
This is their rock star, their idol, and it's a very cult-like atmosphere there.
Rasmieh! 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 Rasmieh!
All of the main social justice movements in this country came out in support of Rasmieh and in support of Palestine because of the brave woman who's standing here today.
Woo! Yeah!
Rasmieh is not guilty just because Tuckle says she is, just because McQuaid says she is. Is Rasmieh guilty?
No!
She's guilty of one thing. She's guilty of dedicating over 50 years of her life to the liberation of Palestine.
Free Palestine!
I hope that everyone here will recommit, raise the level of struggle to bring an end to the Israeli Zionist occupation.
Yes.
To absolutely see Palestine free from the river to the sea. So that Rasmieh can go home, so that we can all visit her.
Basically, they're using the military court conviction as evidence that she was a terrorist, as if anyone who's defending their land and fighting against a foreign occupation could ever be considered a terrorist. They're usually, in the history of the world, freedom fighters.
They have tried to turn this into a social justice case when it's not. This is a case of non-disclosure of a conviction and imprisonment. whether she should have been convicted in Israel of the bombing, whether she shouldn't have been, whether she should have been imprisoned or not. They are facts that happened and that had to be disclosed on her immigration and naturalization forms. She didn't get to lie about that and keep her citizenship, and that's what's being taken away from her.
Really, it's difficult to say, I want to leave. I don't want to leave. This is my second country.
My guess is that her emotions probably were real, but they were not necessarily motivated by what you might think. I think she legitimately is upset that she's going to have to leave the United States, that the fruit of the lies on her immigration forms is being taken away from her, her U.S. citizenship. So I believe she really is upset. But just because she's upset doesn't mean she's been wronged. She committed a wrong.
Just from the bottom of our hearts, how much we love and respect and honor you, Rasmieh.
Yeah! Yeah!
So thank you, Rasmieh, for being such an important inspiration for Palestinian diaspora youth all over the world, but especially in the U.S. and Chicago.
Rasmieh did not lose today because everyone that's gathered here today stands in solidarity with her and with Palestine.
Yes!
So I just wanted to say, to close it out, we love you, Rasmieh, and no matter what, we stand with you. The people united will never be defeated.
This is not a case about racism. This is not a case against anti-Palestinian government action. She lied to get into the country, and it was the worst type of lie. It was a lie about prior terrorist activity. This was not an innocent lie. This was a lie that went to the heart of the screening that takes place to keep terrorists out of the United States. Rather than acknowledging what she did, and acknowledging how she lied to come into the country, she presents herself as the victim, and that is very typical.
Actually, I think that a large part of her support comes from this new political term, intersectionality, where different causes can pick on a small aspect of some other cause with which they intersect and make that a means of strengthening their own cause. So the women's movement and social justice movements, all these different kinds of movements try and utilize her or take advantage of her in the same way that she takes advantage of them for her own cause. I feel a sense of relief that this chapter brings the thing to an end. It doesn't end as cleanly as one might have hoped. There was no sense of remorse or even a very freely acknowledged guilt, even though formally she did plead guilty. But it is what it is, and I'll be very happy to see the sentence imposed, revocation of her citizenship, and deportation and out of here.
no choices. No choices. Like today in the court, I didn't have choices. They asked me. You signed and you agree with that. I didn't have any choice.
I really did not expect this to happen because her lawyers and her defense committee and her supporters have been bragging for months how she's going to put Israel on trial. So I thought, given her background, that would be one of her life goals, is to try to put Israel on trial in a U.S. courtroom.
We knew that given the climate and given all the things that the government was prepared to do, she was not going to get a fair trial around these charges.
Whatever else she is, I think she's a very smart woman. And I think she correctly assessed the risks to her. She did not believe the BS that her supporters spout. She understood that she was guilty. She understood she was going to get convicted. She understood that she was going to get at least 18 months, probably longer, and she took the deal. So I think she's a very smart woman. She's a smart woman, though, who lied to get into the country. The Twitter hashtag that Rasmieh's supporters use is Justice for Rasmieh. When she's deported and stripped of her citizenship, I think justice will have been done for Rasmieh.